Alright, we're gonna read a silly fanfic because I'm stupid and because I need mental help ASAP. Okay, let's do this. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived in a village near the forest. Whenever she went out, the little girl wore a red riding cloak, so everybody in the village called her Little Goldie Riding Hood. One morning, Little Goldie Riding Hood asked her mother if she could go visit her grandmother Atuna, as it had been a while since they'd seen each other. "That's a good idea," her mother, Cleo, said. So they packed a nice basket for little Cleo Riding Hood, not Cleo, fuck, Goldie, to take to her grandmother Atuna. When the basket was ready, the little girl put on her red cloak and kissed her mother goodbye. "Remember to go straight to Grandma Atuna's house," her mother cautioned. "Don't waddle along the way, and please don't talk to strangers. The woods are dangerous." "Don't worry, Mommy," said little Goldie Riding Hood. "I'll be careful." When little Goldie Riding Hood noticed some lovely flowers in the wood, she forgot her promise to her mother Cleo. She picked a few, watched the butterflies flit about for a while, and listened to the frogs croaking, and then picked a few more. Little Goldie Riding Hood was enjoying the warm summer day so much that she didn't notice a dark shadow approach her out of the forest behind her. Suddenly, the fox appeared beside her. "What are you doing out here, little girl?" the fox asked in a voice as friendly as cold could muster. "I'm on my way to see my Grandma Atuna, who lives through the forest near the brook," little Goldie Riding Hood replied. She realized how late she was and quickly excused herself, rushing down the path to her grandmother's house. The fox, in the meantime, took a shortcut. Oh, oof. Brief from running, arrived at Grandma Atuna's house and knocked lightly at the door. "Oh, my goodness, dear. Oh, my goodness, I can't do this. I'm not voicing. Oh, my goodness, dear, come in. I was worried sick that something had happened to you in the forest," said Grandma Atuna, thinking that the knock was her granddaughter Goldie. The fox let himself in. Poor Granny Atuna did not have time to say another word before the fox raped him. And then ate him. Fox let out a satisfied burp, and then poked through Atuna's wardrobe to find a nightgown that he liked. He added a frilly sleeping cap and for good measures dabbed some of Granny Atuna's perfume behind his pointy ears. "Atuna, what are you not telling us?" A few minutes later, little Goldie Riding Hood knocked on the door. The wolf jumped into bed and pulled the covers over his nose. "Who is it?" he called in a crackly voice. "It's me, little Goldie Riding Hood." "Oh, how lovely! Do come in, my dear," croaked the fox. When little Goldie Riding Hood entered the little cottage, she could scarcely recognize her grandmother. Grandma Atuna, your voice sounds so odd. Is something the matter?" "Oh, I just have a touch of a cold," squeaked the fox, adding a cough at the end to prove the point. We need to see hairy eyes. "Atuna, what big ears you had," said little Goldie Riding Hood as she edged closer to the bed. Bed. I can speak English real good." "The better to hear you with, my dear," replied the fox. But Grandmother Atuna, what big eyes you have," said little Goldie Riding Hood. "The better to see you with, my dear," replied the fox. But Grandmother Atuna, "What big teeth you have," said little Goldie Riding Hood, her voice quivering slightly. "The better to eat you up, my dear," roared the fox, and leapt out of bed and began to chase the little girl. Oh, poor Goldie, she's gonna get raped. almost too late. Little Goldie Riding Hood realized that the person in the bed was not her grandmother, but a hungry fox. She ran across the room and through the door, shouting, "Help! Fox!" as loudly as she could. A woodsman named Mario, who was chopping logs nearby, heard her cry and ran towards the cottage as fast as he could. So, ooh! He grabbed the wolf and made him spit out the poor grandmother, who was a bit frazzled by the whole experience, but still in one piece. Oh, rip fox. He grabbed the... Did I say wolf or fox? I think I said fox. He grabbed the fox and made him spit out the poor grandmother, who was a bit frazzled by the whole experience, but still in one piece. And I'm saying that just for extra measures, because I don't know. Oh, Grandma Atuna, I was so scared, sobbed little Goldie Riding Hood. I'll never speak to strangers or dawdle in the forest again. Yeah? Okay, where was I? Oh, Grandma, I was so scared, sobbed little Goldie Riding Hood. I'll never speak to strangers or dawdle in the forest again. There, child. Child! You've learned yourself an important lesson. Thank goodness you shouted loud enough for this kind woodsman to hear you. Ooh! The woodsmith knocked out the wolf and carried him deep into the forest. The woodsman knocked out the fox and carried him deep into the forest, where he wouldn't bother people any longer. Little Goldie Riding Hood and her grandmother Atuna had a nice lunch and a long chat. The end.